Yo, this is it. You know what it is. Attack of the Beats from IllMuzik.com. I'm Mr. Fade, the host. And once again, I'm going to review 5 beats. And I think that's all there is to say, really, as the intro. So let's get into it right away. That's what you want to hear, right? Is the beats. All right, so first up, we got El Nino with Find a Spot. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was El Nino with Find a Spot. All right, so for this one, what's interesting is that I like the music, okay? I think the only thing is the drums, really, because I'm listening to it, and it's like you've got that background music. It's very muffled, though, so to me it sounds like guitar, maybe. Either guitar or piano, I don't know, but it's very muffled, so I couldn't really tell, but it sounds more like guitar to me. But actually, I would just leave it that way, because it sounds nice. That, you have this nice little melody going on. The bass line's there, so that's good. Honestly, I think it's just the drums, really, because right off the bat, you got the hi-hat that it sounded kind of distorted a bit or whatever. But then you got the kick and snare, and they're pretty dry compared to, well, I mean, the hi-hat is too, but, the kick and snare is pretty dry. So I think really the only thing is that if you just substituted all your drums for something better, it would make a huge difference. And because I'm listening to this whole beat and I'm thinking to myself, the only thing really that you're missing is that polish. You need some polish on this, right? You need this to fine tune this, make it like smoother and slicker type of thing. Because you get the smooth music in the background, everything's working good and all that. You got the police sirens and then that vocal snippet singing, well, not singing, but just saying find a spot. And, it all works. It's just the drums, really. So a lot of times what I do is I recommend that somebody, if you have trouble with drum tracks, is you use a breakbeat, use some kind of drum loop that you can find, something that's popular, and just loop that up. You put that over the music, and you'll see it'll just light up your track right there. And then, you could keep it like that, or you could just follow that drum loop, that breakbeat. You just follow it, play your own drums over it, and try to match it in a way, you know what I mean? So that way you're just trying to learn the drums at the same time, as you're trying to record them, you're learning how to make some nice drums as well, so it's very tough sometimes because I do the same thing. I mean, I get, sometimes I have a nice kick and snare, but then my hat is just very, very clean sounding, or it just doesn't match whatsoever at all. So a lot of times I had trouble with the hats as well. So but for you, it's the whole thing, the whole drum package. So just switch that stuff out, just substitute it, and you'll see it'll make a big difference. But the music stuff is great. I like it. It's some dope shit. All right, so next up we got Grind Stars with Murder Wreck. Is that it, or is it just Grind Stars? Whatever. All right, let's check it out. All right, all right. Okay, so that was Grind Stars, and I think the track name is Grind Stars. I think that's what it is. All right, so yeah, with this one, the thing is with the beats like this is that I know it's what's popular, especially like with this snare, right? I'm listening to the snare, and I know that's the type of popular snare a lot of people use it for trap music and things like that, but I just don't like those types of snares. I mean, they're okay, but they're just like these short short smacking snares, and I don't know, it's just kind of weird, like it's just kind of right there in the middle of my brain. It's just right there, just above my nose. It's just smacking me right there. I don't know, it's just kind of weird, but that's always what I hear when I hear those snares and stuff. So, but anyway, it does sound good though. What I do like about the beat is that the whole beat is very is done very well. So that's good. I think the main thing is that the beats just don't take this negatively, but just it's boring, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that because it's very good. I think this beat would be excellent if you had a rapper on top of it. I think I'm just saying it's boring in a way like that. You're just missing something. You're just missing something on top of it. And right away I'm like, okay, you definitely have to put some kind of synth on top of this. Do some synth work on this, because that'll definitely bring some life to this beat. Because right now it's just kind of flat. The whole thing's just very, very flat. Now you could keep it that way, but as long as you have a rapper on top of this, then it should be fine. But it still wouldn't hurt to add some synth work on top of it and stuff. So, but if you're just going to keep the beat by itself, you're just going to use it like that, or try to sell the beat like that, I would definitely put some synths on it, do something like that, because it's just kind of boring in a way. You know what I mean? So you just need to get some life to it, and that'll make a big difference. So that's the only thing, because it's very well done. I like it. I like that bass you have. It's just kind of just like a whirling type bass that's in there and all that, and the drum work is very good, the keys and all that stuff. But just add some synth, just bring some life to the beat. That's the only criticism I have, really, because the rest is pretty well done, so but yeah, just add some synth and you should be good to go. All right, so next up we got Lionel Suave with Date with Destiny. Let's check it out.
Like she's ordered the lobster.
All right. Okay, so that was Lionel Suave with Date with Destiny. All right, so for this one, here's the thing with this one, okay, is that it sounds so nice. I mean, I think you tagged it as orchestral trap, and that's pretty fitting. I mean, that's actually a good description for it. But it's like you're trying to get this whole orchestra thing going, and it works. It's because it's a really nice track. It's really nice music and everything. The thing is that just the whole thing, like all the music, is just very, very loud. So if you were to have a rapper on top of this, there would be no room for the rapper whatsoever, because it would just be super, super loud. Everything would be in the red or whatever. But even if you just leave the beat as is, just on its own, and just play it like this, even then it's still loud, because I can hear the drums and everything, but they're just kind of very low in the mix and all that stuff. So I think the music, you just need to just get a handle on it, just kind of compress it a bit and just bring it down somewhat. just to make some room. It just needs to be flattened out a bit, just to make it smoother. Because right now it's just like everything's out of control. You know what I mean? So it's just that's what you got to do with the mix and everything. It's just get under control really, because the beat itself is really good. I like it. It's just that right now it's just the whole thing, man. It's just it's wild, you know. So that's it, you know. But that's where the mixing skills come in. You know, I mean, I had trouble doing that myself. You just have to play with different effects and different little things that you got to do. I mean, maybe just lowering the volume of it, you know, could do the trick. Who knows? But you got to play with that and try it out and stuff, because it's a really good beat. I like that stuff, and that's the problem when you play music like that, or even if you sample music like that, is that it's nice, it's an orchestra or whatever, but you know, sometimes even though it's very nice, it's just hard to get a hold of the music because it's just so loud in that beat in the mix. That's like, what do you do with it? You know, the only option you have really is just to lower it in the mix and then add something on top maybe or whatever. But so in your case, yeah, especially if you're gonna have a rapper on top, you got to get control over this music and stuff. But yeah, it's good. It's a very good beat. I like it. All right, so next up we got Skinny Nika 646 Jewelry. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was who was that? That was Skinny Nika 646 with Jewelry. All right, so for this one, you know, you got that. I think it was like the last time too. It's like you have that R&B flavor in there, and that's fine. That's your style. That's cool. You know, but for hip hop, you know, again, you know, you got to be careful with that, you know, and all that stuff. But for what you have here, it's a very nice beat. I like it. It's mixed very well. One of the complaints though would be the snare, because first of all, the whole mix is very, very hot. Okay, it's very loud, so you got to be careful of that. Watch your levels. I mean, I know you know that, but still, you just got to watch the levels. You know, I mean, I tell it to everybody because, you know, so many times I see mixes that are way in the red. They have to be under control. There's no reason for them to be in the red, really. I mean, maybe just a bit, but not a lot. You know, so but because of that, the whole mix is in the red, and then you got this snare that is very loud. So I would lower the snare, maybe compress it a bit, because right now in the mix it's really overwhelming the mix, and the sound of the snare too, it's like this it's kind of like a tingy sound to the snare, and that plus the loudness of it, the way it smacks and stuff, it was, you know, it kind of rings in my ear and stuff. So yeah, I would just get that under control, you know, just try to fix that a bit in the mix, just you know, polish it up a bit. But other than that, I mean, the beat is very, very good. I like it. I wouldn't have used that female vocal that much, maybe a little less, you know, but it's good because you use it like a hook or whatever, and it's good. You have some good drum track there. You have a good drum track, and then the music, of course, is very good. Like I said, a bit of it on the R&B-ish side, but still, it's a very solid beat. Very well done, but it's just a mix, man. You just gotta tone it down a bit, you know. But that goes for everybody, you know. I just keep telling everybody that, and they don't listen. I don't know. All right, so here we go. It's the last beat. We got the Nile Beats with 808 Bang. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was the Nile Beats with 808 Bang. All right, so for this one, the 808 definitely bangs. I mean, it's pretty heavy, that one. But here's the thing. I'm listening to it, and it gives me this nauseous feeling. The bass sounds nauseous. And, at first I was like, okay, this is kind of weird or whatever. But as I'm listening to it, I was like, you know what, this actually works. It's good. It gives it that, like, this gangster feel. You know what I mean? And so I would keep that. Although the bass is a little monotone, it's a little kind of just bleh, So maybe add some life to it somehow by just maybe, going up a note here and there and something like that. Just to give it a bit of life. The drums are fine, actually. I really like the drums. Some good drum rolls, like some snare rolls, and just the drums overall. They're nice because they just sit in very well in the mix. That's what I really liked about them. And I think the only thing that I had a problem with was the piano. The rest of the music is nice. It's just the piano. I know, like, you have this, like I said, the bass line is this weird bass line or whatever, but the piano, I don't know. It just sounds out of tune to me. And, sometimes that works when you have an instrument like that, like I said, piano or guitar or whatever, where it's out of tune, it just sounds like it's out of tune. But in this case, it doesn't work that way. So I would say keep the piano and just get a different tune, really, or the other thing too is that the piano, whether it's in tune or not, the sound of the piano that you have, it sounds too clean to me. I mean, to me, the type of beat that you have, I think if you had a sampled piano, huge difference. Now it doesn't mean you have to sample a piano loop, but you could just sample like one or two notes from some piano piece or something, and then mess around with that. Because you don't want to necessarily go into sample full blown sampling or whatever, but just a little note here and there, and then you could play it out like that. Because that's one of the problems with when you're playing a piano plugin. Okay, is that it might sound good, okay, whatever, but it just doesn't compare to a sample, because the sample's got that dark feel to it. It's got this gritty feel to it, and especially if you're making that kind of beat. So in your case, you are making that kind of beat. So I would go with a sample piano, and you'll see a big difference with that. So try that, give it a shot, and you'll see. But other than that, I really like the beat though. Bass is good, drums are good. Just do something with that piano. All right, that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this time, the winner is, drumroll please, Skinny Nicka 646 with Jewelry. Let's check it out.
Esoteric.